Cyclone Idai may be one of the worst cyclones to hit Southern Africa in recent years. It destroyed everything in its path with fierce winds of 170 kilometers per hour, which swept in from the Indian Ocean, destroying land and causing rivers to burst their banks in 3 sub-Saharan countries, namely Malawi, Mozambique and Zimbabwe. Friday, 15 March 2019 was a Black Friday for the people and communities in Manicaland province, particularly Chimanimani district in Zimbabwe. It was on this day when one of the worst natural disasters hit the mountainous district, leaving a trail of destruction. Homes and bridges were destroyed, people were left stranded, and according to government reports, more than 200 people perished and more than 5,000 were displaced as a result of the cyclone. In the wake of the calamity, the Zimbabwean government called for international humanitarian assistance, and many organizations, both local and international, responded. Among the organizations that responded were World Vision Zimbabwe as the lead organization, together with partners Go Zimbabwe and Plan International, with support from the European Union Civil Protection and Humanitarian Aid ECHO, focusing on strengthening vulnerable communities post-cyclone Idai through integrated shelter, wash and protection.
The Shelter Wash Protection Project was an integrated approach to the communities in Chimanimani who were affected by Cyclone Idai. This action targeted those communities that were affected by the cyclone, where we were providing shelter. We were also providing the wash component that included provision of safe water, rehabilitation of boreholes, and also the protection component on those that were affected by cyclone. We're also providing safeguarding, and on this intervention we had 3 partners that we were working with, World Vision, Go and Plan International. On the shelter component, we were targeting 1,000 beneficiaries that were affected by cyclone with damaged houses, and on the 1,000 houses we were building 200 new houses and also 1,800 rehabilitations for those beneficiaries that had minor or extensive damages on their houses.
Imba yangu yakadona, chibage chikapere kuenda nemvura. Tikasara tiri pachena, zvakazoita nezvekuti ototozwa kuti kuna auyawo mukwasha wauye kubatsira, tikati Mwari ngaakudzwe. Tobva taenda zvozwi modikane kunyoriwa neWorld Vision.
We managed to provide safe and dignified shelter to all the 1,000 beneficiaries that we were targeting. Actually, we were assisting those beneficiaries, those who were affected by Cyclone Idai, especially the elderly, those with 65 years and above. We were also assisting the child-headed households. We were also assisting the widows and the widowers.
Ini ndakaparadzirwa nemba yangu pakaitika cyclone Idai. Imba yangu yachobva yaparara. Ndakanga ndine mhuri yangu vana vaisvika 4 nemudzimai wangu na munin'ina wangu.
We assisted or reached out to a total of 15,000 affected beneficiaries or communities who were traumatized, some of them who had been separated from their loved ones, some of whom had been exposed to sexual gender-based violence. So the program responded by establishing static and mobile child-friendly spaces.
World Vision, Go Zimbabwe and Plan International are some of the strongest players in Zimbabwean humanitarian space. They have combined their expertise in responding to the pressing shelter needs, reducing wash-related vulnerabilities, and providing psychosocial support services. The organization responded to the Cyclone Idai disaster by providing shelter, wash services and psychosocial support services for Cyclone Idai victims.
On the restoration of safe water supply, we're looking at rehabilitation of water systems which were damaged by Cyclone Idai. The tapped water schemes, we had a target of 7, boreholes we had a target of 2, springs we had a target of 183. On tapped water schemes, we managed to rehabilitate 7 tapped water schemes which were affected by Cyclone Idai, 2 in Ward 16, 2 in Ward 23, and 3 in Ward 22. Springs we managed to rehabilitate 184. We managed to reach a target of 14,333 people with water supply.
Not only did the project support the establishment of static and mobile child-friendly spaces, but also it strengthened community-based child protection systems, involving the training of community-based frontline staff, including child care workers, community leaders, religious and traditional leaders, so that they could also assist in responding to cases or concerns of child protection.
Various infrastructures ranging from roads, houses, bridges, schools and water sources were ravaged by the cyclone. It was the damage to the houses that was presenting another looming disaster, as the elderly, child-headed families, chronically ill and people living with disabilities were affected by the cyclone, with some becoming homeless, and wash services were interrupted and disturbed, and some community members were traumatized. The intervention by World Vision Zimbabwe enabled 200 two-roomed houses to be constructed, and about 800 others were rehabilitated.
Ndakazobatsirwa nge-World Vision ne-ECHO akauya akatarisa akaona akati zeshuwa panapa pasina upenyu hwakanaka, tinokwanisai kuti tikubatsirei kuti mupinde muchirongwa.
Takasvikirwa dambudziko, murume wangu akatsikirwa nemvura nemwana zukuru. Saka zvadaro zviya eWorld Vision yakazondipa rubatsiro kwandiri neanhu enharaunda anganditsvakira panzvimbo yendiri ine pandakaakirwa ngeWorld Vision.
Ipapo pakaparara musha, vana vanga vambodisturbeka papfungwa dzavo, saka vakazobatsirwawo neplan yakazouya kudzidzisawo kuti njere dzavo dzinge dzinodzorodzeka, uyezve mvura yedu yakadisturbeka kwayakanga ichibva mapaipi amwe akatorwa akaenda. Goal yakatibatsira chaizvo, ikativakira matsime pari zvinezvi hatakumwa mvura yedu yachena.
Ndakawirwawo nedutu mupengo rakatangawo manheru echishanu, mvura ikaedzerwa yechinaya, mhatso yangu yatoparara yakadonha. World Vision yakazouyawo vachifamba vachitarisa mukati madzimba, ndikazonyorwawo, ndikazoonawo chance yekuti ndakavakirwa mhatso. Zviro zvaishungurudza because pakadonha imba ndakanga ndakugara muimba imwe yekuti taiungana tiri pamwe chete, vana nana mai zvanga zvisikachazikani, tandoungana muchimba chetakanga tatoungana imomo.
Dambudziko rakandiwirawo ndere kudonerwa neimba pacyclone, pakaita cyclone Idai. Imba yedu yakawa ndobva yamapwanyika zvinhu zvanga zvirimo. Saka kubva ipapo tatasitorinawo kana pekugara, taichitogara mumatende, takazobatsirwawo nematende, ndobva tagara mumatende.
On the coordination aspect, we were working with the shelter cluster, which comprised of public works in Chimanimani and also the Rural District Council. And we were doing our monitoring and supervision of construction works with public works officials and also Rural District Council officials. These officials, they were ensuring that we adhere to the minimum standards that are required in terms of shelter rehabilitations.
We undertook supervision and monitoring of construction activities. Monitoring of construction activities was done in a triangulation form where World Vision and its partners were supervising the construction activities. On the other end, Rural District Council and Public Works were also undertaking monitoring and supervision of construction activities. We had also at the base the local leadership with shelter monitors who were carrying out day-to-day supervision in the construction sites. We also undertook joint monitoring with stakeholders where we were solving challenges right on the site.
Beneficiaries receiving shelter assistance were provided with all building materials, and those households facing labor challenges were allocated builders under the cash for work modality. Apart from constructing new houses and rehabilitating those slightly damaged, World Vision Zimbabwe and its partners also provided trainings to both beneficiaries and non-beneficiaries to enhance their capacity to face shocks and stress, as well being informed of their relevant rights and proper documentation.
Ndakandataura ndatambudzika kuti anhu oenda tondonherwa ngeimba. Vakavati kwai unodikana humare mare hwaide kushanda iyi, ndikati ini ndatogara kuita munhu handina chendinacho. Imba yakadonda pakauya murume wakabva wechimani-mani nemota kwauchitotaura ndokuchinyora-nyora zvawo kuti ndechipindawo muchirongwa ndokuchitonyorwa-nyorwa kuno kwakazoitwa.
Pakanga pechivakwa imba tinotenda nekuti mabhiruda akabhadharwa nedhona, isu takakwanisawo kubatsirawo kuti tishande tibatsiranawo nemabhiruda tiri maassistance acho tichiisawo dhaka nezvidhina zvakavakisa imba.
Kuti imba isumuke takazwisisa tinotsvakawo kupa bhiruda chikafu chokuti arye zvakanaka, kuti chishanda nawo zvakanaka asikativhiringidzi isi tisikavhiringidziwo.
As an integrated approach, the objective of the project was to assist the beneficiaries with safe and secure shelter, and also ensure that those beneficiaries that were assisted with shelter, they had safe and clean water, or access to safe and clean water, and also those that have been affected with trauma, they receive enough counseling and also protection in psychosocial support.
The restoration of water supply was done through the cash for work, where communities came to rehabilitate the paved water schemes. They worked on gathering of stones, clearing of the areas where springs were being protected. On improved sanitation and hygiene behavior, we used the community-led action approach. This is a participatory approach which recognizes that the collective action by the communities will improve hygiene and sanitation behaviors. With this approach, communities are empowered to do their own situation analysis, plan to take action, and supervise themselves on their plans. We trained 90 village health workers to lead in triggering the communities to take action. We managed to reach 30,863 people with this action.
In an effort to enhance access to safe water and improved proper sanitation and hygiene practices for the communities affected by the cyclone, Go Zimbabwe, with the support of the European Union, Civil Protection and Humanitarian Aid ECHO, responded by repairing and rehabilitating 183 springs, 2 boreholes and 7 piped water schemes, subsequently reaching more than 14,000 people. The community-led action water sanitation and hygiene wash activity was targeted at reaching more than 30,000 people with health and hygiene goals.
Tinozwe kufara chaizvo, kutenda kukuru chaizvo kuwana mvura yatakavabatsirwa kuvakirwa ngeGO, mvura yakachena yekumwa inova mvura yakachengetedzeka zvakanaka, zvekuti nharaunda yese yave kungorarama ichimwa mvura yakachena. Vamwe vava kutopota vachitozodita madiridzo padhuze ipapo vachidiridza mirivo yavo.
Isusu sama-village health worker pa community led action yataipa kuvanhu ine pundutso mukati meupenyu hwevanhu vatinawo maringeni nenguva ino yatinayo. zvinotinakidzawo nokuti vazhinji vanga vasingazivi kuti vachibva kuchimbuzi vanogeza maoko, asi pari zvino munhu wese akuziva kuti ndichibva kuchimbuzi ndogeza maoko. Padara panguwo panofanira kuti ndapedza kugeza mandiro ndinofanirawo kugeza maoko. Saka munhu wese ane pundutso maringe nechidzidzo chatakapiwa ichocho.
As the communities of Chimanimani were picking the broken pieces and rebuilding their lives following the devastating effects of Cyclone Idai, Plan International and its partners established community-supported child-friendly spaces and facilitated the training of child-friendly spaces facilitators. These protection and psychosocial support activities were aimed at strengthening community-based child protection structures and life skills trainings for adolescents.
Plan yakatibatsira pakuti yakatiunzira ma-instrument akanga asati azikana ngevana vedu vari muno. Ana edu aiziye kutamba magoga chete. Kuti aziye kutamba wana chesi, anani, zvakaunzwa ngeplan.
The project also conducted a massive awareness to raise awareness on child protection through road shows, both at community and at school level, which really helped the communities to be aware of their entitlements and also to be able to know where to report in the event that they encounter cases of child abuse. One key element or unique element of the project also under the protection and psychosocial support component was the assistance that was offered to those in need of specialized services, be it counseling services or health-related services.
Vana vedu vetinao vakanga vasingazivi kuti vangazvichengeta sei panguva dzavo dzekuteera, vakanga vasingazizve kudzidziswa uyezve vakauya kudzoreredzwa pfungwa dzavo kusangana nedambudziko revakasangana naro paidai, nokuti vamwe vevana vakabudirwa netsaona dzokuti vakashayikirwa navabereki, vamwe vakawirwa nedzimba, saka vakanga mukugara vakutovhiringidzika.
Basa redu randinoita pano nerekutamba nevana, kuaraidza maringe takatarisana nematambudziko etakasangana nawo munguva yemafashamo yadai kupfuura. Zvitiri kuita zvidzidzo pano ndezvekubatsirana nevana kuti vasashungurudzika mupfungwa.
Pari nhasi munhu wese ari kukwanisa kugeza maoko nekuziva kumwa mvura yakachena yatakapiwawo nematsime. Tinozvitenda nedhona redu rakatibatsira irori.
It came at the right time to beneficiaries in Chimanimani, as now they have received enough shelter, they have got access to clean water, and also those that were affected psychological counseling.
The staggering humanitarian effort by World Vision Zimbabwe and its partners Go Zimbabwe and Plan International under the European Union Civil Protection and Humanitarian Aid ECHO lights a candle of hope for the vulnerable members of society in Chimanimani post-cyclone Idai, such as children, the elderly, and those people living with disabilities.